Lego and video games go together like peanut butter and jelly. From Mario to Sonic and even The Legend of Zelda, they've collabed with some of the biggest names in the game. So today, I'll be going over some of the most popular video games in Lego. Let's go. Up first is a Lego theme based on the game OverWatch. OverWatch released all the way back in 2016, and since then, it's gained an insane amount of popularity. So much so that just 2 years after the game was released, they already got their first Lego set. This is the Lego Bastion set, and it's the first of 11 Lego sets that were made for Overwatch. The rest of the sets were released in 2019. That is, until Overwatch 2 came out in 2022. Unfortunately, only one set was made for the release of Overwatch 2, the Titan, and since then, nothing else has been done. Now, I know Overwatch is a pretty insane collab, but I suggest you watch until the end of the video. You won't believe what other video games have been made into Lego. Up next is a pack from Lego Dimensions that was made for a super old game. This is the Portal 2 Lego Dimensions pack, and in case you missed it, this pack was made for the game Portal 2. Portal is a little old, but it's still one of the most popular video game franchises ever. Portal 2 in specific was released in 2011, and the Lego pack for it released 4 years later in 2015. The pack features Chell, a companion cube, and a sentry turret, all with just 85 pieces. Now, even though all we got was a little pack from Lego Dimensions, it's still cool to see the Portal franchise making its way into Lego. Up next is a brand new set from one of the most popular games for the Nintendo Switch, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Zelda Breath of the Wild has been out for almost 10 years now. The game is completely open world and there's so much to see. Taking all of that into account, the set Lego decided to make was the Great Deku Tree. This tree is super important in the game. His duty is to protect one of the 3 spiritual stones in the entire world, which is an insanely difficult task. The Great Deku Tree is absolutely iconic in the Zelda series, so it's awesome to see that Lego used it for the first official Lego Zelda set. In my opinion, this theme could be absolutely massive, so I'm super excited to see what else they'll make in the future. Up next is a Lego theme for the literal GOAT of video games, Minecraft. We all know the story behind Minecraft. It's been out since 2009 and has gotten as popular as A-list celebrities, so it was crazy to see the Nether set on the shelves back in 2013. Since that first set all the way back then, Lego has released over 100 other sets for the Minecraft theme, and some of them are absolutely insane. Like the Sword Outpost set from this year, which is literally just a giant diamond sword buried into the ground. With the addition of all of these sets, Lego's also built up a giant portfolio of Minecraft minifigures. And I mean, come on, no one's gonna complain about that. In terms of scale, Minecraft is definitely in the top 5 for the biggest video games Lego's collabed with, but this next game might be even bigger. The game I'm talking about is Fortnite. Now, technically, Lego hasn't released any official sets since their collab with Fortnite, but that might change pretty soon. The first official sets for Lego Fortnite have officially been revealed, and they're super sick. We have the Battle Bus, the Peely Bone, the Loot Llama, and the Durr Burger. People are super excited for these sets, but this isn't the only thing Lego and Fortnite have done together. As we all know, Lego has made a ton of video games in the past, and usually when Lego collabs with other video games, they'll make sets for them like they did with the ones I just talked about. But for Fortnite, they did something completely different. On December 7th, 2023, a Lego game mode was added to Fortnite. When this happened, it completely broke the internet, and I can't say I was surprised. These are 2 names that literally everyone knows, but the collab was still a complete surprise. To this day, Lego Fortnite has a ton of players, so it definitely paid off. Up next is a set that technically isn't a collab, but still has to do with video games. This is the Lego Gaming Tournament Truck, and I have to say, this set is pretty cool. It depicts what seems to be a semi-truck that opens to a gaming station for 2 players. From here, the 2 players will face off in an imaginary gaming competition with the chance to win the big trophy that comes with the set. The fact that you can do all of this with just 344 pieces is pretty crazy, but I think it's time we get back to the actual video games. Up next is a collab with one of the biggest names in gaming history, Super Mario. This collab officially launched back in 2020, and since then, over 150 sets have been made for the Mario theme. Lego did have a bit of a slow start though. Not that many people were happy with the early Mario sets, and to be honest, I can't say I blame them. One of their earliest releases was this starter kit bundle, and in all honesty, it could have been way cooler, but that was 4 years ago, and since then, Lego's definitely stepped up their game. For example, they just released King Boo's Haunted Mansion, and this thing is undeniably cool. The only thing Lego has left to do is make actual minifigures for Mario, because for some reason, they just haven't done that yet. I'm sure when they do though, Lego Mario will skyrocket in ways we haven't seen since Lego Star Wars. This is the Lego Mystery Block set, and in my opinion, this is by far the coolest set in the entire Lego Mario theme. It's already cool enough that we can build a mystery block out of Lego, but there's way more to this set than just that. You can actually open it up and reveal different levels levels from Super Mario 64. There's Cool Mountain, Bob-omb's Battlefield, and even Princess Peach's Castle. Being able to relive Super Mario 64 through Lego is something I'm sure nobody expected to ever be able to do. So the fact that you can is super awesome. Okay, I've talked enough about Mario. Let's move on to the next video game. This next collab is based on a game you might not even know existed. This is the Tron Legacy Set. Yeah, you heard me right. Tron isn't just a movie franchise. You see, the first Tron movie released all the way back in 1982. But the thing about that time period was that it was the golden era for arcades. That's right. Way back in the 80s, Tron arcade machines were everywhere. They were made in 1982 when the first Tron movie released, but by January of 1983, Tron had made its way into the top 5 arcade games at that time. The collab with Lego didn't happen until 2018, but because of how big the Tron games were back in the day, I had to put it in this video. Up next is a minifigure you could only get back in 2020. This is the classic suit Miles Morales minifigure, and the only way you could have gotten it was by entering the PlayStation sweepstakes back in 2020. This minifigure was originally supposed to be given away at the 2020 San Diego Comic-Con, but instead it was given away by PlayStation to celebrate the release of the PS5. Because of this, I'm sure you can imagine that this minifigure is worth a ton of money, and you'd be right. This minifigure can sell anywhere from $2,200 to $4,300, but I guess since it was only given away in a sweepstakes, it makes sense. Up next is a new Lego theme that just got started this year. This is the Lego Animal Crossing theme, and much like Zelda, this is something that Lego fans have been waiting on for a very long time. The first Animal Crossing game released all the way back in 2001, and the game has only gotten more popular since then. I mean, it's literally been on every Nintendo console, from the N64 all the way up to the Nintendo Switch. This is a timeless game that people absolutely love, so it's awesome to see that we can finally build it out of Lego bricks. Up next is a set from Lego Star Wars, but it's definitely not what you think. This is the Lego Star Wars Legends Rogue Shadow set, from all the way back in 2008. Now, at first glance, this set has literally nothing to do with a Star Wars video game, but a few people with keen eyes and a ton of Star Wars knowledge were able to figure out that this set is actually based on the game Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Just like the Lego set, this game was also released in 2008 and became part of the expanded universe in Star Wars. So basically, if it wasn't for this game, the Rogue Shadow set never would have been released, and considering how cool these minifigures are, that would have been a tragedy. Up next is a collab that was honestly super surprising to see. I'm talking about the Lego Sonic theme, and even though it's insanely cool, that's not why it was surprising to me. As we all know, the rivalry between Mario and Sonic has been going on for what feels like forever now. So the fact that Lego is able to sell sets from both franchises is pretty insane to me. Besides that though, the sets themselves are pretty cool, and honestly might be better than the Mario ones. The only reason I'm saying that though is because Lego actually made minifigures for the Sonic theme, something they have yet to do for Mario in the 4 years it's been out. What do you think though? Is Lego Mario better or is Lego Sonic better? Let me know down in the comments. Up next is a literal video game console made into a Lego set, the Lego Atari 2600. When it comes to vintage video games, this console is one of the best. It was released all the way back in 1977. That's 5 years before the first Nintendo console. Many people consider the Atari 2600 to be the pioneer of video game consoles, and I can't say I blame them. This console is a huge part of video game history, but it isn't the only console that Lego made into a set. This is the Lego Nintendo Entertainment System, and it was actually the first official set released for the Lego Mario theme. In my opinion, this was a really good choice by Lego, because the Nintendo NES is literally the first console ever released by Nintendo. Just like the Atari 2600, this console is a huge part of video game history, so it's awesome to see that we can build it out of bricks now. Lego didn't stop there though. They also added a nice little Easter egg to this already amazing set. On the back of the console, there's a removable panel that reveals a very familiar looking setup. Upon closer look, people figured out that it was the 1-2 level from the original Mario game. This was a super cool way to make this already nostalgic set hit even closer to home. Good job, Lego. Up next is a super old Lego theme based on an even older video game. This is the Lego Island Extreme Stunts theme, and these sets were made all the way back in 2002. In total, only 13 sets were ever released for the theme, with most of them being released in 2002. But you might be wondering, what video game is this theme based on? Well, it's actually based on a video game Lego made themselves called Lego Island. This game was released back in 2001 and was a completely open world action/adventure game. I guess the game had to have done pretty well, because I doubt Lego would have made sets for it if it didn't. Regardless though, not a single set has been made for Extreme Stunts since 2003, so this is a theme we can probably say goodbye to. Up next is another Lego set that tributes one of the GOATs of video games. This is the Lego PacMan Arcade set, and it's by far one of the most interactive sets Lego LEGO has ever put out. First off, if you take off the panel on the back of the set, it reveals an entire gear system and a mini version of someone playing Pac-Man. Then if you press the white buttons on the front of the set, the red piece will completely light up. The last thing though is by far the coolest. If you crank the lever on the right side of the set, the gear system you saw on the back will start moving the ghost and Pac-Man himself, making it seem like the game is actually being played. With all of these moving parts and the fact that it's literally Pac-Man, this set more than deserves a spot in this video. So let's move on to the next video game. Up next is a set based on a PlayStation exclusive game. This is the LEGO Horizon Forbidden West Tall Neck set, and it's based on the game Horizon Forbidden West. This game is pretty new, having just been released in 2022, but it was only available on the PS4 and the PS5. The LEGO set was released that same year and has a ton of cool stuff from the game. First, there's the centerpiece, the Tall Neck machine. Then there's an alloy minifigure and a watcher figure with interchangeable eye colors. For the fans of Horizon Forbidden West, this set was a huge deal, but since the game didn't get that much traction, the set's been retired since December of 2023. Last but certainly not least, I want to talk about a super cool subsection of the LEGO Mario theme. If you go on the LEGO website and scroll through the sets for LEGO Mario, you'll find that a lot of the sets have the word expansion in them. But what does this mean? Well, instead of LEGO making a bunch of sets based on random things in Mario, the expansion sets actually depict certain levels from the game. LEGO also famously did this in LEGO Dimensions by releasing a bunch of mini packs with characters from all sorts of movies and TV shows. So the expansion sets for Mario aren't much different. In my opinion, this is a great way for LEGO to continue making sets for LEGO Mario, even if they don't have any ideas. Especially because everyone can be satisfied after building their favorite Mario level out of bricks. What was your favorite video game in this video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.